first meeting. This is after the 14-member coordination committee, the panel has been set up of the opposition bloc. In fact, the main agenda of this meeting here is to decide on the seat-sharing pact for the upcoming polls, to chalk out a campaign strategy for the same, also to discuss on if the India bloc should hit the ground for both Assembly and the Lok Sabha elections, if they should come together for both Assembly and Lok Sabha, or is it a fight and a plan that they should strategize only for 2024. But of course, as much as the discussions have already begun, and this is a fourth meeting, we know there's kind of differences in opinions when it comes to seat-sharing pact between parties in the opposition bloc. You have the CPM, who's now decided to give this meeting a miss, saying that they are yet to decide if the party would want to be part of the opposition team panel or not. They don't have a representative yet in the coordination panel. So they're waiting up on on deciding who's going to be representing themselves. Now, meanwhile, you have in Punjab and Haryana both AAP and Congress wanting to fight all 10 Lok Sabha seats there. Congress has stated that it will fight polls in Haryana on all 10 seats. Even AAP has said the same. In Punjab too, the Congress and AAP digging in its heels, saying that we want to go solo. So there's no alliance there when it comes to Punjab and Haryana. At this point, it all remains to be seen whether the opposition unity will remain strong until 2024, with the seat-sharing pact becoming the key agenda here.
नहीं मेरे कोई खिलाफ नहीं है, तुम्हारी बनाई हुई कहानियां हैं। प्रजातंत्र है, कांग्रेस प्रजातांत्रिक पार्टी है, उसमें सबको अपनी अपनी बात कहने का अधिकार है।
नहीं, देखिए, इसके बारे में मैं कोई टिप्पणी नहीं करूंगा, क्योंकि ये तो कोऑर्डिनेशन कमेटी तय करेगी कैसे करना है, क्या करना है, किस किस्म कैसे सीट शेयरिंग होनी। मेरे ख्याल में कोई मुश्किल होनी नहीं चाहिए। मैं आपको विस्तार से किसी अलग प्रोग्राम में आपको बता सकता हूं कि कोई मुश्किल नहीं होगी, लेकिन इसके बारे में मैं टिप्पणी नहीं करना चाहता। मैं तो आज ये कहता हूं कि दाद देता हूं अपने दूल्हे की।
Now this time has come. We should move. We should go to the people, mobilize the people, for which we should organize public rallies, public meetings on specific issues in different parts of the country. So that may be one of the issues we can discuss. And already there are informal, formal talks on seat sharing. How is the progress? What guidance can be given? This can be also an issue.
कोऑर्डिनेशन कमेटी बनी है, वो बहुत ही कमजोर कोऑर्डिनेशन कमेटी बनी है। इसमें तो नीतीश कुमार को होना चाहिए था, राहुल गांधी इसमें होते, ममता बनर्जी होते, तो हर पार्टी के जो शीर्ष नेता हैं वही ना निर्णय करती हैं। बैठे लोगों को निर्णय का तो अधिकार नहीं है। ललन जी बाद में जाकर नीतीश जी से पूछेंगे। अभिषेक बनर्जी बैठक में आ नहीं रहे हैं। सीपीएम ने अभी तक अपना कोई नॉमिनी जो है उसके लिए सुपुर्द नहीं किया है। तो केवल शरद पवार और हेमंत सोरेन और एमके स्टालिन, ये तीन लोग हैं। तो अगर शरद पवार हैं तो उसमें नीतीश कुमार क्यों नहीं है? तो इसलिए इनको लगता है कि ये कोऑर्डिनेशन कमेटी को दिखावे के लिए कमेटी है।
दिखता है किस प्रकार का इंडिया अलायंस है। राज्यों में आपस में आमने सामने चुनाव लड़ेंगे। वो कांग्रेस के विरोध में आम आदमी पार्टी आमने सामने चुनाव लड़ने की बात करी है, और आज ही उनकी लोकसभा की सीट शेयरिंग है। तो ये हाथी के दांत दिखाने के कुछ और हैं और खाने के कुछ और हैं।
All right, I'm going to cut across to Mashmi Singh joining us. She's been really relentlessly tracking the opposition bloc, the alliance coming together to take on the Modi juggernaut in 2024. Mashmi, it's a very big and important day for the India bloc today. They're going to be discussing a host of issues, including seat sharing. The first meeting right after the coordination committee was set up, and right after the meeting was announced, you had Abhishek Banerjee rushing to be questioned by the ED. So tell us what's the motivation here by the opposition bloc members today, and what's on the agenda?
Motivation, Nabila, really is that it's about survival, and they know that twice the BJP has formed a government at the center. So this is about, stopping them from scoring a hat trick. And it's also about the existential threat that every party is facing as far as this entire crisis is concerned. But importantly, Nabila, my sources tell me that in the coordination committee, even as seat sharing is one of the most troublesome issues that need to be sorted out, even as Arvind Kejriwal and other leaders did press upon this fact that by September this should be wrapped up, who's fighting elections where, how many seats, who's got the might and power to defeat the BJP in every state, an analysis and seat sharing formula. But we are told that today it will be more about, framing a program, perhaps a rally, deciding which state we should go first, and chalking out the blueprint for that, and perhaps what will be the core theme of that rally. How do you corner the BJP on inflation, on unemployment, on all those issues? This will be deliberated more, and seat sharing, I am told, could be kept for a later date. So it's very interesting, because amidst all the public ranting, as you rightly pointed out, by various parties over they're going to fight elections full throttle, and the upcoming assembly elections where the other parties have greater interest to align with the Congress and also fight on some seats, these issues won't be deliberated. More so a rally and what next agitation would be chalked out is more on the agenda.
Right, Maushami, I really request you to stay with us because I know you're going to be very closely tracking the developments of the India Bloc meet that happens at 4 p.m. today at Sharad Pawar's residence in Delhi. So, huge takeaways that we are expecting from this opposition unity meet today. But let me cut across to our panelists who join us for a little perspective on how the India Bloc alliance members are going to remain strong, right, up until 2024. Will they manage to really strike a deal in every assembly state? So that they can fight as a united front. It is going to be a Herculean task, but is it possible at all? Charu Pragya of the BJP joining us, spokesperson. We have Sujata Paul, spokesperson of the Congress, and also Sandeep Shastri, a political analyst. A quick word, I'll start with Sandeep Shastri, our political analyst, to give us an insight. Mr. Shastri, in Haryana and in Punjab, the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress have been very clear. We are not ceding ground. We are going to be contesting all seats. You do what you want, but there is no pact here in Haryana or Punjab. But yet, both the parties remain on a point or stress on a point that they are united when it comes to fighting Modi. How are they going to do this? Is it a possibility as per you?
This is a very important question you have raised. Alliances always face such ticklish challenges to deal with. And of course, every member of the alliance will start up saying that we want to contest all the seats. And that's part of the bargaining process. You start off by saying, okay, I'm going to contest only half the seats. You will end up getting only a quarter of the seats. So I think this is a natural process that happens. And it's interesting they have decided, as per what Maushami said, to push the issue to the future discussion and talk today more about the program and the rallies they want to do. Let's also remember that any alliance has this challenge. People are talking about a BJP Janata Dal alliance in Karnataka, and that again is the sticking point, where Kumaraswamy says, yes, we are in principle favoring an alliance, but seat sharing is still something that has to be sorted out. So the reality
but yet, Mr. Shastri, JDS is a smaller partner. It's a matter of survival for the JDS. The BJP is big and mighty. So, by and large, the JDS does benefit from this alliance with the BJP. But when it comes to the AAP and the Congress, the AAP really feels it's a fitting fight to the Congress. It doesn't feel any smaller or any less to the Congress party because Congress is decimated in many states.
You're right.
AAP has managed to build itself, rather.
At the end of the day, if it is united we stand and divided we fall, and not united we fall and divided we stand, it requires a give and take where in one state you concede and in another state you get. So, as I said, these are all points of bargaining, and everybody would start off by saying, I need everything, and the other party is not capable of doing it.
Right.
So,
I know that, so that requires for egos to be left aside, but it's, we're looking at heavyweights who have come together to take on the BJP. I'm going to come to you on the question on how both parties contesting all seats, will that really benefit them to counter the BJP? Is that even possible? I will come to you on that, Mr. Shastri. But going back to Sujata Paul, who's the Congress spokesperson. Sujata, your AAP and the Congress are not willing to share seats in Haryana and Punjab. Haven't you started off on a negative note itself already?
Not at all. I heard the words huddle. Nobody is in a huddle. Everybody is transparently visible, and everybody has come together to save the country and save the constitution. Now, when you talk about ranting, what is this ranting about? This is called discussion in a democracy. However, when you talk about Aam Aadmi Party or the Congress Party or any other party, you have to remain prepared on every seat possible, so that whoever is given that particular seat is going to be able to deliver to the best of their abilities for the sake of the country, for the sake of the people. And that is why, whether it is the AAP or the Congress or the TMC or the JDU, everybody needs to be prepared on every seat that they can contest on. That doesn't mean that we are weak in any manner. In fact, that means that we are strengthening ourselves. And supposing, let's take a hypothetical situation where a seat goes to the Aam Aadmi Party, and the Congress gets another seat in that particular state. If we are strong in that particular seat, we will be able to help the Aam Aadmi Party as well. And Kharge ji has already said that we are willing to make every sacrifice possible for the sake of the country, because we have to fight.
You gave a hypothetical situation. Let me give you a real situation. In Haryana, the BJP has swept the Lok Sabha elections. 10 out of 10 is for the BJP there. Now you had Aam Aadmi Party, who had no existence. They want to be contesting all 10 seats. The Congress, whatever little that they have, also want to contest all 10 seats. So both parties are adamant. So how is your formula going to work, where you're saying that party that did well in that election the last time will get priority? Here the AAP has absolutely no existence. They're hoping to make some ground this time.
Great question. And that is the challenge we face, and the discussions will happen in the coordination committee. How are we going to decide, sitting outside, who is strong on that seat? And of course, if the BJP has taken the 10 seats, obviously Congress has not won. So that doesn't mean that the Congress is not strong. This is a democracy. Someone wins and someone loses. But whoever wins is not necessarily going to be the next winner. And that is what we are preparing for. So wherever the BJP is, will
you ask Aam Aadmi Party, do you believe? Of course, I know that you're not a part of the coordination panel. It's all for them to decide, and the higher-ups in your party. But give me a sense, do you think the Congress will insist for Aam Aadmi Party to back off from Haryana? I'm just giving you an example of Haryana because that's the flashpoint currently. Because if both parties are contesting all seats, all your votes are divided, how are you going to take on the BJP?
That is exactly what the challenge is. And when you talk about Haryana in particular, or any other seat which is similar to Haryana, we are going to be discussing, and discussions are going to result in in a seat sharing, which is going to be for the best possible result for the alliance. And nobody is out to outsmart each other, but to defeat the BJP, which has given ill governance and misgovernance to the country.
All right. That's, of course, wishful thinking, and more power to you. No, it is wishful thinking at this point. More power to you. I'm saying that this is what you're hoping for. And you wish that it happens, and more power to you on that. But ultimately, what we see here, Charu Pragya, is that the opposition parties are really trying hard to match up to the mighty BJP. We know that you're in power. The BJP is in power at this point. It's the third term that Modi is seeking. Do you think there will be, I mean, of course, you're going to root for your party, but a level of anti-incumbency, do you think that is going to benefit the opposition alliance partners who have come from different parts of the country? Nearly 28 parties, they may have lost in their respective constituencies to the BJP, but them coming together as one strong unit, do you think it's a challenge enough?
Good afternoon, Nabila. My observation with this entire discussion till now have been words that have screamed at me. The word survival, which was used by Mosmi. existential threat. And the biggest difference between the opposition bloc and Bharatiya Janata Party. BJP, the NDA, wants Bharat to win. And this alliance only wants to defeat Modi. That's the difference. Their aim, their goal with this alliance is completely not aligned to what this country needs. Now, let me ask you, what is the difference between contesting these polls independently by yourselves and coming together and forming this alliance bloc? There is actually no difference whatsoever. So whether it is by polls, you go at it independently. Whether it is state elections, you go at it independently. And Lok Sabha seat share, I have always maintained, has been this Birbal ki khichdi, and again you want to go at it independently. So why pretend you are part of an alliance? Why pretend at all? It's not a game of optics anymore. The people of this country are far wiser. They already know all the ploys that you can use, because we've seen stages of this in the last 9 years. You've made a Gathbandhan before, then you made a Maha Gathbandhan. And what is the result? The result remains the same. So people choose to vote for a progressive government with a vision, not for leaders who come together because of their own selfish political gains and nothing else.
Sujata, selfish political gains, it's all a matter of survival. It's all for the parties and their the chiefs who want to remain and their families that want to remain in power and nothing
and Nabila, lastly, for a group which could not decide on a logo because they didn't agree on the color of the logo, how do you think they're going to decide on a seat share? Please enlighten me.
Sujata, please.
Yes. Charu Pragya has very clearly told the NDA allies that there is no space for any of the alliance partners, because if anything has to be decided, it has to be decided by the Bharatiya Janata Party, because it is one man that will decide for the BJP and for the NDA allies, and that is why they have had no meeting so far of the alliance. When the India alliance got together, what happened to them? They quickly got into a huddle and said, Can I complete? I didn't speak in between.
Yeah, please go on. And we are short on time. Please go on.
Yes. Very short. So, when you talk about a progressive government with a vision, it is a government that talks about issues, that does not bring a Manipuri topi into the parliament, but issues like the Manipur issue should be addressed. When you have women wrestlers out on the streets, you have to give governance and show that you are governing the country by taking strict action against your leader, which you have not done. And every single person who has been associated with the BJP and has been accused of rape has not had any action taken against him, except for maybe saying that after the action was taken by the court. And this is what the country needs today. So who is fighting for survival and who is facing an existential crisis? Time is going to tell, because it is your 37% faced by the 63%.
All right, we heard that. Charu, you have a counter, a quick one.
Yes, very quick. Sujata, you always come back to the NDA and we always say, hamare neta clear hai, hamari niti clear hai, hamari niyat clear hai. Why do you question this? Now, this is something that none of us are questioning. Only you continue to question it. In your case, I don't even understand who's going to be the leader. So independently, in your independent bloc, it's going to be TNC versus Congress in West Bengal. In Punjab, it's going to be Aam Aadmi Party versus Congress. In the South, the same thing is going to continue. And then you will come together and fight in Parliament to decide what's going to happen next. So my point is, there is no difference between all these political parties fighting for survival, fighting this election independently, or coming together, because this coming together is mere optics, full stop. It's only resort holidays and nothing else, nothing of concrete relevance to the Indian political system.
Ultimately, we are a democracy. All parties are rightfully have the space and the ground to fight, and they've all come together to fight and counter the mighty BJP. It's going to be a task, but it's a first step taken by the opposition parties. Is there a leader? A quick word, Ms. Paul. Is there a real one leader in the opposition unity bloc?
They couldn't agree on a convener.
We live in a democracy, and we have a number of leaders. And the leader that will be chosen chosen by the representatives chosen by the people of this country.
All right. So you're saying it's a democratic play. It's a way to show democracy even within the India bloc. All right. Well said. A final word. I'll go to Sandeep Shastri, sir. If you could tell us, is it possible? Does it look like a real likelihood that they can take on the BJP? Forget winning is still secondary, but do you believe that this is going to be strong enough to even dent their prospects?
Nabila, politics is all about possibilities. Politics is all about impossibilities. So I don't see, the next few months is a long time to decide and define what's going to happen. But I'll just make, with your permission, 2 quick points.
Yes.
I think the NDA and the opposition both have very, very, very clear differences in their approach. The NDA says, Prime Minister Modi is our leader, he is the one who is our face, who is yours. And trying to put the opposition in a trap on leadership. I think the opposition is saying for us it's not a question of leadership, it's a question of alternative policy. It'll be interesting to see how much the India Alliance is able to stick to that point, though you already have bickerings among them saying, no, X is our leader, Y is our leader, Z is our leader. Can they stick to the question that leadership is not the issue? For us, the leadership is program, policy, strategy, alternative. Because the NDA is going to keep on asking this question, we have Modi, who do you have? And the moment they fall in that trap, the fight is over. Because when they make it a leadership fight, I think the NDA has won it even before the fight has begun. So I think the India Alliance not declaring a leader, making it a policy program alternative, seems to be the only way they can actually hope for a fight. As we
All
go
right,
forward.
we heard you. Thank you very much, Mr. Sandeep Shastri, Sujata Paul and Charu Pragya for joining us on this. It's, of course, a very important meeting of the India Bloc today where they're going to be deciding on seat sharing.